What's up? What's up with y'all?
Forward to playing Aaron Rodgers?
Man, I played him before I was his teammate, so yeah, kind of.
What have you learned about him over the years, facing him both from like during practice as a teammate, but also going up against him in the game? Like, what have you been able to learn about him as a player?
Man, so much. Just from picking his brain, just from him being around, like some of the best of the best. You know, it's different when you playing against him and you got the scouting reporter like, all right, this is who he is, and then actually like seeing it in practice, like you just understand like this is why he's considered one of the best quarterbacks of all time. You know, so just one of those.
I'm sorry. In that sense, how do you think he reacts to all the craziness that's happening in New York City, on top of the fact that it's New York City? How do you think he's handling all this week, and how do you expect him to respond on Monday?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I have no idea how he's handling it or what he's doing, but he's been around for a long time, so I'm pretty sure it's nothing new to him, you know.
A little bit of time since you played back in your area. How excited are you to play back in your home city?
I'm a little bit excited. Fam gonna be there, you know. Usually the game where you gotta give away the most tickets, buy tickets for family members. So I'm not excited about that, but everything else excited for. At this moment, Wednesday, it's like 26. Right now, I'm hoping that somehow everybody forgets my number and it stays at that number, but we'll see. We'll see. If anyone, I'm taking donations. If anybody, you know, with a lot of money want to just, you know, a little GoFundMe, you know what I mean? Anybody want to do a GoFundMe or something to help me out, I appreciate it. You know? Yeah, but nah.
Terrell said that they had a meeting with the leadership group this morning and basically said the mindset needs to stay the same and the results will follow.
Yeah.
How do you take that and actually approach that as the week goes on? How do you take that mindset and actually do something with it?
Yeah, I mean, and that's kind of hard too. Probably why we can't meet with the whole team and say that, and just the leaders, because everybody know it's a production-based business, and when you losing, everything just seems much worse than it is when you winning. But the result all the time doesn't speak for how well you do. You know, sometimes you can play a great game and still lose, and I think we all know that. And we just got to stick to the basic things that we always do, and eventually it'll come. You know, and it always does work itself out at the end. So we just got to just stay focused on what we do and how we play ball, and things will shape out.
To go back to Rodgers, you were saying how some of the stuff he does in practice is where you see him as a Hall of Famer. Is it just, tell me more about that. Like, was it his approach? Was it the plays he's making in practice? Like, what was he doing behind the scenes to make him so successful?
Nah, it's definitely the way he approached the game. I mean, it's like fooling him sometimes is like you really can't. You really just like you got to kind of be outside of who you are to fool him. But I know when we used to get the scouting report, they used to tell us like sometimes during the whole week, like sometimes you're gonna be in great position and it's still gonna be a completion, and you got to be okay with that. Like, don't get discouraged. So like he just throws places that you just can't get an interception off of, you know. And it was like, what do you go, like 4 years where he was throwing 50 touchdowns and 1-2 interceptions. So, I mean, that's just who he is. And then getting to practice, I remember just like, yo, how the hell he do this? Like, and it was like every day. And it just was like, and coaches just look at us, he'd be like, no, it's okay. It's A-Rod. You're not going to see nobody else like that. And that was just always his way of like keeping us like encouraged. It was like, well, you don't got to play him on Sunday. You know what I mean? You're just practicing against him. But every throw, he could make it, whether he was on the move or whether he was standing still. Just was like, it was hard to get to some of the throws. And then I started playing nickel a little bit, and he just would like look left and throw right, and I'd be running full speed that way, and he'd throw it right to where I was supposed to. Just little stuff like that. But yeah, he attacks the game, he approaches it, and he's a winner. He knows how to win. So.
We've heard a lot from the coaching staff this week about emphasizing communication and collaboration. How do you do that as a vet, both in practice and in the meeting rooms this week?
Just keep talking, make sure everybody on the same page. I know it's easy to say that, and then the game happens, it goes fast, and maybe an unscouted look that we didn't go through, but it's just always if we all wrong, we all right. And if we all right, we all right. But if we all wrong and right, then we all wrong. So we just gotta just be on the same page. And it don't have to be like knowing what they gonna do, but just what we gonna do and how we gonna see it. That's really it. So we just gotta just keep doing that.
I know the DBs in the past have talked about like how we get on the same page is we will meet outside of the meeting room with a group and we'll go over film and we'll communicate and make sure that we're all on the same page.
Yeah.
Can you explain some of those things that you guys may do outside of the meeting room and practice that help with the collaboration?
Yeah, like we'll go in with the linebackers, the DBs are going with the linebackers, and we'll just watch a game or something together and we'll call calls and then just have the calls in our head and play ball throughout watching somebody else play so that everybody can kind of get on the same page of how we see things. And then sometimes we see those plays in practice or in the game, and we'll know how to just play them just based off that. So we just all try to get on the same page, because we know sometimes things be moving fast. Sometimes you can't hear people. Sometimes you get the call late, and it's like, oh, hurry up. And then now it's like you trying to tell somebody else what to do, but the play happening, and now it's just like you still got to play the play, you know. So it's just you just got to keep communicating. We tell them all the time that there's no such thing as over communicating. Like you can't over communicate. If you're gonna talk just keep talking. Say something, you know.
The nature of the sport is that you go from highs to lows and lows to highs and things like that. And the Bills have certainly experienced that over the last 2 weeks. How, as a player, do you try and insulate yourself from getting caught up in the emotions of winning 47-10 and then losing, a couple of games where your team didn't play its best?
But it's gonna happen. Like it's gonna happen. Like no one goes undefeated. So we just know how it goes. You get used to it. You play enough ball, the losses and win column is probably like neck and neck with each other. So you just gotta just stay the course and just keep going. Cause this a tough league. Most games, 47-10, 37-10, those games don't really happen like that. Most games be won by one score game. So you gotta get used to that, and it's hard to win in the league, you know. So you gotta get the ones you're supposed to get, and try to take something that you're not supposed to get.
Russell, when did you learn that mindset of like, it's going to eventually even itself out? Because I think for young players, it's probably, you've played in the league a long time.
Yeah, I went 3-13 before too, though. Yeah. So when I went 3-13, I was coming there every week knowing we was losing, every day. And those days are the worst, because like you practicing for nothing. You know what I mean? Ain't no motivation in the practice. Can't nobody give you a speech. Ain't nobody gonna say, oh, you might make it to the playoffs. It ain't nothing coach can say, but you playing for your pride and the name on your jersey. Like you wanna go out there and do whatever, you gonna look bad. Nobody else. You know what I mean? So just doing that. So. Yeah.